Hello, Zenith women, and welcome to the channel. Fear is a liar. Only fools believe it. Yet most people fall for its deception every single day. They panic, they hesitate, they crumble under pressure. But not Sigma females. No, they don't just resist fear, they obliterate it. Here's a fact that might shock you. The human brain is wired to exaggerate threats 5 times more than reality. An evolutionary trick meant to keep our ancestors from getting eaten by saber-toothed tigers. But Sigma females, they've hacked this system. While everyone else is out here flinching at imaginary monsters, they stand tall, unshaken, like warriors who already know the battle is won. Difficult situations don't intimidate them, they intrigue them. Pressure doesn't break them, it sharpens them. And fear? Well, fear has long realized that when it knocks on their door, nobody is home. So why do Sigma females show zero fear in the face of adversity? It's not magic. It's not luck. It's how they're built. And trust me, the way they handle life's toughest challenges will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about strength. Number 1, they see fear as an illusion, and they are immune to illusions. Fear is the biggest scam in human history, and Sigma females know it. Most people walk around letting fear control them. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But here's the thing, fear isn't real. It's nothing more than a mental illusion, a trick played by the mind to keep people from stepping into their true power. And Sigma females? They don't just ignore fear, they erase it from their system. They've figured out what most people never do. Fear only has power if you believe in it. It's like a shadow. It looks intimidating, but the moment you shine a light on it, it disappears. When a Sigma female walks into a difficult situation, she doesn't flinch because she knows fear can't touch her unless she lets it. While others hesitate, overthink, or seek validation, she moves with absolute certainty. This is why people often mistake Sigma females for being cold, ruthless, or even reckless. It's not that they don't feel fear, it's that they refuse to be ruled by it. They understand that every great thing in life exists on the other side of fear. Success, power, freedom, these things don't belong to those who cower. They belong to those who refuse to bow down. When faced with chaos, most people ask, "What if I fail?" A Sigma female? She asks, "What if I don't?" That's the difference. While the rest of the world trembles at the thought of stepping into the unknown, she walks straight into it, unshaken. And that's why fear, no matter how loudly it knocks, never gets an answer from her. Number 2, they play the long game while others panic in the short term. Most people panic when things go wrong. They react emotionally, make rash decisions, and end up creating bigger problems for themselves. Sigma females, they don't operate like that. They play the long game while everyone else is trapped in short-term thinking. When chaos hits, most people focus on immediate relief, how to escape discomfort as fast as possible. That's why they make impulsive choices that come back to haunt them. But Sigma females don't chase quick fixes. They step back, analyze the full picture, and make calculated moves that benefit them in the long run. This is what makes them look fearless. While others are drowning in anxiety, they stay calm, controlled, and precise. They know that setbacks, failures, and challenges are temporary, and the real power lies in endurance, patience, and strategic action. They don't waste time reacting to every little inconvenience because they understand that most problems solve themselves when handled with intelligence, not emotion. People who live in the moment often mistake Sigma females for being indifferent or too detached. The truth? They're just smarter than the average person. They refuse to gamble their future for short-term comfort. They don't care about looking like they're winning today. They care about actually winning when it matters. This is why Sigma females always seem to come out on top. While the rest of the world is busy fighting meaningless battles, making desperate decisions, and panicking over things that won't matter in a year, they're already 10 steps ahead, planning their next move, unshaken and unstoppable. Number 3, they refuse to be victims. Ever. Most people crumble when life gets tough. They look for someone to blame, dwell on their misfortunes, and wait for a savior to come fix their problems. Sigma females, they don't have time for that nonsense. They refuse to see themselves as victims, ever. No matter how unfair, cruel, or chaotic life gets, self-pity is never an option. They don't sit around complaining about how hard things are. They don't replay their struggles like a broken record, hoping for sympathy. They don't seek validation for their pain. Instead, they do what most people are too afraid to do: take full responsibility for their lives. When a Sigma female faces adversity, she doesn't waste time asking, "Why me?" That question is for the weak. She asks, "How do I use this?" Because she knows every challenge, every betrayal, every failure is a weapon in disguise, one that can either destroy her or make her more powerful. And she always chooses power. This is what separates her from the rest. Most people let hardships define them. Sigma females, they redefine themselves through hardships. They turn losses into lessons, setbacks into strategies, and obstacles into opportunities. They refuse to let circumstances dictate their worth or direction. And this mindset, it makes them unbreakable. The world can throw its worst at them, but they won't fold. Why? Because victims beg for power while Sigma females take it. Number 4. They know that fearless people are the ones who shape the world. History has never been shaped by the timid. Every groundbreaking leader, innovator, and trailblazer who changed the world did so because they refused to be ruled by fear. Sigma females understand this truth on a deep level. Fear is the ultimate enemy of greatness. While most people let fear dictate their actions, Sigma females do the exact opposite. They know that playing it safe never leads to anything extraordinary. The people who build empires, revolutionize industries, and rewrite history aren't the ones who hesitated. They're the ones who took risks, stood their ground, and faced opposition without flinching. Sigma females aren't reckless, but they also don't let fear hold them hostage. They understand that in order to leave a mark, they must be willing to stand alone, challenge the norm, and make bold moves, despite the discomfort. They don't care if people call them arrogant, intimidating, or even crazy. They know that greatness has never been born from approval-seeking. This is why they're so unshaken in difficult situations. They've accepted that the price of real power is fearlessness, and they're willing to pay it. While others cower, hesitate, or wait for permission, Sigma females act. They don't wait for the world to hand them an opportunity. They create it. In the end, fearful people remain spectators in life, while fearless ones shape the future. Sigma females have already decided which side they belong to. Number 5. They've already faced the worst. Sigma females don't flinch at difficulties because they've already been through worse. Life has tested them in ways most people wouldn't survive. They've faced betrayals that cut deep, losses that reshaped them, and struggles that left permanent scars. But instead of breaking, they became unshakable. Pain doesn't scare them, it built them. While others panic at the first sign of trouble, Sigma females remain calm because hardship is familiar territory. They've already endured the nights where no one came to save them, the moments where everything fell apart, and the battles they had to fight alone. They know what it's like to hit rock bottom, and they also know something most people don't. There's nothing down there that can kill them. This is why fear has no place in their mind. When a difficult situation arises, they don't crumble. They don't waste time overreacting. They simply assess the problem and move forward. They've already been through the kind of pain that rewires a person. So when new challenges appear, their first thought isn't, "Oh no," it's, "That's it, I've survived worse." Most people break under pressure because they've never truly been tested. Sigma females, they've been tested repeatedly and passed every time. That's why when life throws another storm their way, they don't tremble. They walk straight into it like they've done 1,000 times before. Number 6. Their minds are trained to override panic. Panic is a luxury Sigma females don't entertain. While most people let fear hijack their brains, turning them into irrational, reactive messes, Sigma females have trained their minds to function like precision-calibrated machines, cold, calculating, and built for survival. When chaos hits, the average person freezes. Their emotions take over, clouding their judgment and leading them into a spiral of bad decisions. But Sigma females? Their minds override the noise and go straight into problem-solving mode. They don't waste time on unnecessary emotions. They don't spiral into self-doubt. They don't drown in what-ifs. They simply assess, adapt, and execute fast. This isn't luck. It's conditioning. Sigma females have trained themselves to control their emotional responses instead of being controlled by them. When a problem arises, they treat it like a puzzle, breaking it down, finding the weak points and attacking it with precision. They don't have time for panic-induced stupidity because they know one truth most people ignore. The second you panic, you lose. This is why people see them as cold or even robotic in high-pressure situations. But it's not a lack of emotion, it's discipline. They understand that emotional chaos leads to mistakes, regrets, and weakness. And weakness? That's not in their vocabulary. Number 7. They trust themselves more than any external force. Most people are afraid because they don't trust themselves. They look to others for answers, approval, and permission. They second-guess their instincts and hesitate, hoping someone will save them. Sigma females, they are the savior. They don't wait for external validation, advice, or a reassuring pat on the back. They've spent years becoming their own backbone, sharpening their instincts and proving to themselves that they can handle whatever comes their way. That level of self-trust makes fear irrelevant. When you know you can figure things out, no matter how bad they get, what's left to be afraid of? This is why Sigma females move with such calm certainty in difficult situations. They don't need a second opinion, a support group, or someone to hold their hand. They've been through enough to understand that no one is coming to save them, because they never needed saving in the first place. Most people hesitate because they fear making the wrong choice. Sigma females? They make a decision, commit to it, and adjust if needed. Their confidence isn't arrogance, it's earned. They've learned that the world is full of unreliable people, broken promises, and false safety nets. The only thing they can truly count on? Themselves. And when you trust yourself more than any external force, fear loses its grip. Because at the end of the day, Sigma females don't need reassurance. They are the reassurance. Number 8. They see fear as a tool, not an enemy. Fear is what paralyzes most people. It makes them hesitate, overthink, and ultimately sabotage themselves. But Sigma females, they don't fear fear itself, they use it. While others see fear as an enemy, Sigma females treat it like a tool, something to be redirected, reshaped, and repurposed. They don't let it freeze them, they let it fuel them. When fear kicks in, instead of shrinking, they become sharper. Their senses heighten, their focus locks in, and their minds shift into peak performance mode. This is why they seem fearless in difficult situations. It's not that they don't feel fear, it's that they've trained themselves to convert it into power. While others drown in anxiety, Sigma females ride the wave. Fear turns into adrenaline, adrenaline turns into clarity, and clarity turns into action. This ability makes them unstoppable. Most people avoid situations that make them uncomfortable, but Sigma females run straight toward them, knowing that fear is just another mental muscle. The more you control it, the stronger you become. They refuse to let it be a cage that limits their potential. Instead, they bend it to their will, turning what weakens others into what sharpens them. At the end of the day, fear only controls those who don't know how to use it. Sigma females do. And that's exactly why they're the ones who come out on top, every time. Number 9. They see difficulties as a test of dominance. For most people, hardship feels like a weight, a burden to carry, a challenge to survive. But for Sigma females, it's more like a test of dominance. They don't just endure difficulties, they conquer them. To them, every obstacle is a rival in a fight, and the only outcome they'll accept is victory. When life throws problems their way, it's not about overcoming or getting through them, it's about winning. Whether that means taking the direct route to success or finding a different, smarter way to get there, the mindset remains the same. I either win or I win differently. There's no such thing as a defeat in their world, just redirection and adaptation. This kind of mindset is what separates them from the crowd. While most people buckle under pressure, hoping for the storm to pass, Sigma females take control of the storm. They look at difficulty like a puzzle to solve, not a mountain to climb. They analyze, adjust, and attack until they come out on top, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. Fear is irrelevant in this mindset. Fear is for those who believe there's a possibility of failure. Sigma females know that the only way to lose is to quit, and quitting isn't in their vocabulary. The very idea of backing down or being defeated feels like a personal affront to their inner power. When you've trained your mind to view challenges as opportunities to assert dominance, nothing stands in your way. And that's why Sigma females don't just survive hardship, they master it. Number 10. They know that fear is how weak people are controlled. Sigma females see fear for what it really is, a tool used by those in power to control the masses. Governments, corporations, and even social norms thrive on fear. Whether it's fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of rejection, it's all about keeping people small, compliant, and manageable. Fear locks people into a mindset of scarcity and limitation, making them easier to manipulate. But not for Sigma females. They see through the illusion and refuse to play along. They understand that fear is the chain society wraps around people's minds, telling them what to do, where to go, and how to live. To most, this fear feels like a natural part of life, something that can't be escaped. But Sigma females, they cut right through it, like a blade slicing through paper. They don't fear being different or stepping outside the box. They don't let the threat of rejection or failure dictate their decisions. Instead, they embrace their power and autonomy, knowing that the only real control anyone has over them is the control they give away. Society wants people to be afraid so that they stay in line, stay predictable, and stay within the bounds of conformity. But Sigma females have learned that fear is the shortcut to weakness, and they refuse to take that path. They walk through life untethered by societal fears, choosing their own path and making their own rules. They are immune to the chains that bind others because they see them for what they really are, illusions meant to trap the weak. For Sigma females, fear is a passing shadow, not a force that defines them. It's just another tool they use to sharpen their strength, not something they'll ever allow to control them. In a world where fear holds so many hostage, Sigma females have made a conscious decision to break free. They don't just survive difficult situations, they dominate them. Fear isn't something they avoid or ignore. It's something they use, sharpen, and turn into a tool for power. They've learned that true strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in refusing to let it control them. While most people crumble under pressure, Sigma females rise, seeing challenges as opportunities to prove their resilience. They've seen fear paralyze others and vowed never to fall victim to it. Their minds are trained to cut through panic, and their unwavering self-trust ensures they never need an external lifeline. When fear tries to knock them down, they turn it into a mental weapon. Adrenaline, focus, and awareness rolled into one. They understand that the world is full of systems built on fear, and they've chosen not to participate in that manipulation. They don't play the victim. They refuse to be weak because they know the truth. Fear is the tool that keeps most people small, and they are too big for that. Sigma females are a force that the world can't control because they've already taken control of themselves. In the end, it's simple. Sigma females show zero fear because they've mastered the art of using fear as fuel, and when life tests them, they never back down. They know there's only one option: win or win differently. And that's the kind of strength that doesn't just endure, it defines. If you've made it this far, you know that Sigma females aren't just ordinary, they're extraordinary. If you found this insight valuable, don't miss out on more. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful, no-holds-barred content that cuts through the noise. Like, comment, and share with anyone who needs to hear this truth, because when we stand together, we elevate. Let's keep pushing boundaries and breaking barriers, because there's always more to discover. Join the movement, stay strong, stay unstoppable.